That even brings up like Propel and gums.
All of that stuff, yeah.
Woo, we got a topic for you.
We do. Welcome to Between Two Pastries. This is Nicole.
I'm Annie.
And today we're going to talk about artificial sweeteners in general. And there's such a laundry list of things that affects, from, foods to fluids.
Yeah.
And since we just talked about hydration, we thought this would be kind of a nice tie-in to everything.
You know what I hate? Where people use artificial sweeteners sometimes?
What's that?
Baking.
Oh my God.
That is so gross.
Just
bake
it's in
the pie
there.
the way the pie is supposed to be made.
It's in there, definitely.
Ooh, that's one of my least favorite places to taste artificial sweeteners. But I think it's worthy to talk about because, we talked last time about water and caffeine and stuff, which then leads us to the topic of soda and all, the other ways that we can get fluids in. So let's talk about artificial sweeteners, because you talk about, regular soda and diet soda. Of course, the buzz from 80s, 90s, and today is still...
I know.
Still to this day, artificial sweeteners cause cancer.
Right.
No, they do not.
Right.
That's it.
They do not. Right. They do.
End of conversation.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, the studies are there. I mean, you have to expose yourself to gobs and gobs and gobs of artificial sweeteners on a daily basis, and still, it's not even for sure that you would remotely get cancer. You're not going to feel well. That's for sure. But
right. That's a different conversation.
So
like when we say a lot, we're talking like 12 packs.
Right.
Of 12 packs.
Right.
Of a day.
Right.
Of a diet substance.
Sure,
so put that into perspective. And I know some people might be thinking, well, but if I started drinking diet soda at 12 years old and now I'm 90, well, that still is not enough. Like
because even if you're having one a day, it's
fine.
Literally not,
it's not a big deal.
And I think that again, this is just another opportunity to again speak about balance. It's not
right.
It's not I live off of everything that has artificial sweeteners in it because I refuse to eat sugar
or calories.
It's like, no, everything has its place and time, and that's the thing. So at any rate, a little can go a long way with artificial sweeteners.
And so there's lots of different kinds, right? And in my opinion, I don't feel like one is better than the other in terms of nutrition, because there's really no nutrition present.
Right.
It's exactly what it is. It's a sweetener.
Right.
It's meant to manipulate the taste of something.
Sure.
Which is okay. That's what spices are. That's what herbs are. I mean, obviously there's different functions for these things, but an artificial sweetener is really there to make something that maybe is bitter taste a little sweeter. And so you have, right now you have so many.
Right.
But I see these commercials and articles, not professional articles, like magazine articles, and I see posts on social media about how stevia is better than this, and again, we're just making stuff status. We're just saying, oh yes, I have stevia, therefore I'm better than all of you Splenda eaters, and really there is no better or best way of doing anything. I mean, in terms of taste, all of them are very different.
They all are very different.
And they all have very different levels of sweetness.
Right. But I also want to say and make this really clear again. There is no way that we're promoting this.
No.
Let us just, all we're saying is we know this stuff exists. We know it's in a lot of things. We're just trying to kind of let you know where they kind of fall, I guess you could say.
Right.
But I really want everybody to know we are not saying, oh, they're fine, please continue eating a lot of them every day.
No,
this is not what we're saying at all.
No.
It's just education
Moderation.
on what they are, understanding it.
And it's not going to cause cancer.
Right.
That's the important
I think
piece.
that's what's just so
like
upsetting.
If you flippin' like Diet Coke, have a Diet Coke, right? Like it's okay.
It's really,
I will say, because I think this is important to raise, and I've done this with clients too. I don't know if you have. My husband Brian, when he was years ago when he was losing weight, he was a big soda drinker. Honestly, I can't remember what type of soda he was drinking. But he was a big soda drinker, and I think, we know drinking soda is not the best idea in the world when that's our only source of hydration, right?
No, for sure.
And that's where he was at. So he's drinking a bunch of soda, so then he switched to diet soda, then he switched to something maybe like a Gatorade, and then he switched to Propel and then water. So he did a progression.
He did a nice progression.
He did a progression down. So not really necessarily, I mean, there's lots of things we could say about all of these products in terms of nutrition and whether it's good or bad or whatever. You want to label things, we can. But he did a progression to get to water from, lots and lots of flavor and stimulation in the mouth to water.
Yeah.
Because it is really hard to tell someone, oh, yeah, you drink soda, now you need to drink water. Like, that's gross. It's a hard thing when you're not a water drinker to go from something so stimulating within the mouth.
Yeah. My mom doesn't drink water at all.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get her to drink water.
Yeah. I don't care for it.
She just drinks coffee and Diet Coke.
Oh, well, maybe that's not good.
Every day. Like, that's it.
I drink hot tea
She can't stand.
Yeah.
And she's osteoporotic. And she's got all kinds of other things. But at any rate.
Right. But this is the conversation
of,
okay, we talk about, diet sodas have artificial sweeteners. So some people choose, well, it's diet soda, no calories, therefore I'll drink that.
Right.
And then you have the other group of people, well, I drink regular soda because, quote unquote, artificial sweeteners are so bad for you that I might as well have natural sugar. Okay, sugar is a complete topic that we're going to talk about on its own. But let's talk about soda in general and, as Nicole said, osteoporosis and what soda does to the bones in general. Because, those bubbles you taste, they taste good.
Right.
It's nice, it's stimulating. But when there's acid coming in, what happens?
Right.
Well, it's going to break down our bones. And unfortunately, at least for me, you see clients who have that coupled with disordered eating, and they're not getting the right nutrition that they need, plus they drink soda, and now they have osteoporosis, or they have oftentimes osteopenia in their early 20s.
Yeah. And
it's just like, man, no calcium, and you're drinking soda, and you're doing a real disservice to your bones. So I drink soda. I had a Diet Pepsi today. I'll be totally honest. I've been struggling to sleep. I've been really anxious with coronavirus stuff. So I'm like, and I work in healthcare, so I'm just like, oh. So yeah, I had a Diet Pepsi today. I try to, limit to once a week. I might have something, and it's one of those things where, you enjoy it more when you don't have it all the time, so it acts that way. But I also, I get really concerned about even like my own bones. Like I think about that, like, oh man, I really don't want to be bound to a wheelchair at age 50 or with a walker.
It's true.
Osteoporosis is extremely uncomfortable. It's very painful. So
yes, it is.
My concern with soda is not necessarily that people drink it because it has calories or sugar or artificial sweeteners, but more so for bone health. I think that's just so important to be more balanced and in moderation with those types of products.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll talk about inflammation actually in a later date. But but with the artificial sweeteners too, I mean, it can disrupt our gut flora, which is also just important to understand.
What does that mean, gut flora?
The inflammation. So gut flora is like when you have good bacteria that kind of eats all the bad bacteria and helps your digestion, helps your immunity, helps with absorption.
And we all have it.
We all have both.
We all have
just has. There are times where we have a little bit more of one versus the other.
Yeah.
And so that's also kind of part of a real problem is our health really starts in our gut.
Yes.
So we want to give it all the good stuff as much as we possibly can. We don't want to expose it to so much stuff that again takes away from us. From our health, it's what's life-giving, so.
Is it a chemical interaction that occurs with artificial sweeteners, like the synthetic chemicals used to make an artificial sweetener interacting with our gut microbe or affecting gut microbe? I mean, is that ultimately what happens?
I don't actually know if it's because of the chemical base of it but we do know it does disrupt gut flora.
And you don't want that.
No, so that's the thing. It won't if you have, say, a packet a day or a drink a
beverage,
day. But when you're, the issue becomes when you have it in your yogurt, in your soda, in your gum,
when everything's,
in your, all of a sudden,
fat-free, sugar-free, everything.
You're literally, and this is what I'm talking about with exposure to the gut. You're exposing the gut on a very regular, consistent basis of this artificial sweetener. So then it continues to kind of feed. What you do want to expose your gut to is fiber.
Yeah.
Fiber actually feeds
that.
your really good gut flora. That's what you want to be taking in throughout the day to counteract that. But as you can see, though, it's looking at what you're consistently taking in. What are you exposing yourself to? So just, again, food for thought consideration.
Right. Well, and again, we go back to that concept of variety of intake. I mean, if we eliminate a food group or a source of intake, and we go to all foods with artificial sweeteners, or we all go all fat-free, or we eliminate carbohydrate, we do really jack up our gut.
Yeah, we
and
really do.
The bacteria.
Yeah.
And we talk about, this conversation will be super expanded, such that, inflammation, prebiotics, probiotics, and just gut microbia in general, because I think there's so much more to say on this. But trust us when we say, when you eliminate foods and you forget to eat fiber, or you don't like things with fiber, specifically grain-based and vegetable nuts, things like that, fruits even as well, those types of fibers really, really change the organisms that are living within our gut.
Right.
And there's like, it's like 20,000 different types of bacteria that break down carbohydrate. And when we stop eating carbohydrate or fibrous carbohydrate, that the bacteria levels go down significantly pretty quick.
That's right.
Within even a few days of that change. So then you try to eat, grains again, and all of a sudden, your gut's like, what the hell?
You're bloated and things like that. So again, it's not because you have an allergy.
No, or an intolerance.
Oh gosh, that's another episode. But
but
the other thing about sweeteners too, and even if since we're talking about sort of artificial sweeteners, I really want to make sure we point we bring up the point of sugar alcohols.
Oh God,
just because unfortunately those have been sort of the replacement to the the sugar substitute. And the issue with sugar alcohols is
what does it do to you?
Well, they're not absorbable, so therefore everybody has their own tolerance level for them. So they can cause a lot of GI distress, from bloating to gas to like instant
cramping.
Diarrhea, cramping.
Bubbling. Your lower GI feels like it's bubbling in a way.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable.
So it can be a real issue, actually.
And where do we find gums?
What?
Where do we find gum? Gums, sugar alcohols, sorry.
Oh, sugar
I gave
alcohols.
the answer.
Sugar alcohol, I guess, can be found in some gum.
Sugar.
But there's sugar alcohol in like a lot of, bars that are out there.
Yeah, your protein bars.
Some silly protein bars have them, unfortunately.
No carbohydrate things.
No
sugar.
Oh my gosh, like all of that that new ice cream that is basically
Halo.
It's based on sugar alcohol.
It's all you're eating is sugar. Like if your stomach doesn't hurt after that, like people will eat a pint at a time, and I'm like, oh my God.
Again, the stuff is just not real food.
Just get Ben and Jerry's and eat a normal serving and call it a day.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. Our food industry is so freaking frustrating.
Right.
We're going to talk more about that too in the future, but at any rate.
Yeah, sugar alcohols, you can read it on the label as guar gum. Usually the word gum is written there in the ingredient list.
For sugar alcohol?
For sugar alcohols. You'll see
erythritol, maltitol.
Yeah, you can generally recognize names, and it's usually the same ones that are used, and they're in beverages as well.
Erythritol and xylitol are big ones
those are big
for
ones.
the food industry.
The Z
you can even buy it off the shelf
word.
and bake with it, which I do not recommend.
Oh, that's gross.
So again, everybody has their own threshold to it. I find people start getting affected by it with 5 grams or more. So you want to kind of take a peek at that on products, guys, and just take care of yourselves and be careful around that stuff. So. So there you go. Ending on that note.
This is sparking so much in my brain. I love it.
Food for thought. Till next time. Bye, y'all.